You are welcome to the Natural Language Processing Project. So in this project, we are going to build a system in which our computer is going to understand what we write down and is going to act accordingly. So the natural language processing system is simply a technique or a machine learning algorithm that helps machines or computers to understand what humans say or what humans write, analyze it, and be able to perform an action accordingly. So in this particular project, we are making use of the natural language processing extension in Pictoblox. So once again, I'm Florence Navenje, esteemed facilitator at Makers Place, Ghana. So we go to our extensions, and then we will have access to the natural language processing extension. Still loading. Still loading. But we can see natural language processing. So this particular extension is the extension we are going to use. I have already used it. So once you click on it, it will load the models under the natural language processing extension. So we have access to this, but to start with, we need to create a data that will keep, that we are going to run or test. So to create the data with our project, we are working with turning on and off light. So we are going to create our data, and with what we say, Toby will be able to tell us if we want to turn on our light or if we want to turn off our light. It's just the same way Alexa works, it's just the same way Siri works, and other systems. So to start with, I need to create a block that says data for light on, data for light off, and then train data. So I'll go to my blocks and I'll be able to create. So when I click on my blocks, I'm taking here. So with this particular space, I can type in the block I want to create. So if it's a data for light on block, I just type data for light on. If it's data for light off, I type data for light off. And if it is data, train data, I type train data, and I have it. Okay, but I have already done that. So let's go on with how I got the rest of the blocks. So now, when I come to the natural language processing palette or extension, I have these particular blocks under it. I have add your text as class. So class only tells us that the type or the group, or it defines something for us. So our class here talking about our light on and off is either going to be light on or light off. So it defines our light being on or our light being off. So to start with, so we add a block and we can duplicate it as many as we want in order to put in the text we want. So we can see we add a block and then we have light off. So we are telling our system that when I type light, when you see light off, it means switch off my light. When you see it's too bright, it means my light should be off. When you see I want to sleep, it means light off. When you see light is too bright, it means light off, and so on and so forth. And then we do the same thing for data for light on. So the system, when it's light on, it means light on. It's too dark here, means light on. So it's just defining the different text I can type, and then I expect the feedback to be light on or light off. After I have done that, now I need to train my data for my system to understand what I have written and to store what I have written. So I train my data. So I use define train data block. After that, I add reset text classifier. So the text classifier either classifies my text under light on or light off. So I'm going to classify the data for light on and classify the data for light off. After that, I'll train my text classifier. The reset takes my system to default, and then when my system gets my data is being trained or classified. After that, now I have to set my blocks working or set my data working. And that is where I use when green flag is clicked. So when my green flag is clicked, I need an action. So I activate my green flag, and then when green flag is clicked, then I want my data to get trained. So I should say, then I get the say block, and then I get the class of that for 2 seconds. So once my data is being classified into a class, then whatever I say should be classified. So if I say I need rest, that should be classified. If I say light is dim, that is classified. But whatever I want to write down, I want to type here, it should be part of my data for light on or my data for light off. And my system will be able to classify whether what I've typed is light on or light off. So we can look at it, we can have an example. So first of all, let's run what we have here. I need rest and then light is dim, and see what Toby will give us, the feedback we will get. So the first one, Toby says it means light off, and the second one means light on. That means I need rest means light off. So if we go through the light off data here, we can see that I need rest is included. And if we go through the light on data here, we'll see that light is dim is also included. Okay, so we can change this to any other thing. Let's change this to I need time. What our system will give us. So the two texts I have typed in are classified under light on because both are under the data for light on. And let's say I change the first one to off, and I change the second one to light. And I run my program, both texts I have typed there are under the data for light off, and so it means the light should be off. So this is the technology that is being used for our smart systems we have at home to turn off our light and off, for voice recognition and many more. Thank you very much. Don't forget